to be fair. And here we are. Good evening, everyone, with the never on time trying to make his blurty weird shit. I've got Lyle. I've got Kyle forming the Kalile. And then I have Mr. Brian Horton hanging out with us tonight. How is everyone doing?
Stressed, Brad. I'm stressed.
We are on the cusp of ATC. And yes, indeed, I will continue to dead name the NATC, the NATCA, to be the ATC. For sure.
I just found out recently the list I'm bringing is garbage.
Apparently our team sucks. Yeah. Apparently the most popular list at the event is the only one Kyle can't play against also, so that's great.
I mean, Kyle, I'm sorry, buddy.
I'll play it.
Oh, you used to be okay at the game, and now you are terrible, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Happens.
You guys want to talk about what happened over the weekend? Because we should talk about that before we start talking about what's happening in the future.
It's not going to take very long.
There was 5 minutes of tournaments this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Jakari, rocking it out, baby. 70% weekend win rate. Ba-bing? Yes, Anna. Yes.
Starry was something and one.
Sorry, I have to go to the wall for this. Anna, so you're saying NATC to the NATC. Good times. Sisters rocking it with 65. Dude, we had some huge win rates today. That's what happens when you don't have that many games played. But we got some skews. Sisters and Space Wolves, though, pocketing it up atop.
I mean, you got to look at the number of games played this weekend. There wasn't a lot of big tournaments. They were all mostly smaller. So
Dude.
The stuff that is consistently good, guess what? In the small field, stay consistently good.
Yep.
That is what it is.
I'm going to have to go to Nurgle Mann
To me,
here.
the surprise is that, the Votann had a pretty good win rate with not a lot of players.
I don't think that that's not surprising to me. I think that Jaegers are going to carry this army to 50. I'm going to say they're going to stay at 53+%. I think they're always going to win a little bit more than they're going to lose for sure in that percentage. I think that having an army that has that much scout finally carve out their spots to make sure that they can scout or at least threaten that scout. And also those guys are cheap as shit. You know what I mean? Like Votann had a real problem with people just getting all up in their shit for a while. Also, Nurgle Matt, I brought those objective markers to the tournament that we were both at, and I did not give them back to you, as per what I do.
The Jaegers definitely are pretty good. Like they're it's a weird mix of pretty good and also somewhat scary. Like they do kind of hit relatively hard for just being in your face. I played against them a few times, and they're solid. They change how you have to attack Votann for sure.
I think it's a big deal because one of the things that Votann really struggled against was just people getting all over him, like I'm saying, but also people just throwing down two infiltrators or one infiltrating unit right in front of their scouts and they couldn't scout. Now you can carve out your space, but you can also make it so, again, it's a 10-man unit. That takes up so much space when you're looking to screen something out. So you can do a lot of stuff with the 10-man to defend, and then use a 10-man more aggressively on the sides. And you have layers of, you basically put up one Jaeger to make sure world eaters don't scout and kill you. Then you basically push up another unit of 10 Jaegers to scout and go. Probability coming with $2 super chat. Hey, Brad, can we get another Go Blue and Go Moo? The Moo Crew's going to be there this weekend, too.
I mean, according to this meta breakdown, they're going to do better than us. Their lists are far superior than ours, Brad.
Clearly.
Yeah.
They have the better gear. We'll talk about this after we talk about the meta. They have the better gear. I mean, clearly, they have Moo Crew dice and swag. You know what we brought? We brought me. I can only be so awesome before I don't have swag. You know what I do have in swag, gentlemen? You know what? We'll take a quick break because no one's here to stop me. I just recorded the first of the 3 Eldar lorecasts, and I've got objective markers and dice coming in for the 40klorecast.com.
Nice.
Pretty excited about that.
But what about lore cats? That's kind of what we're waiting for.
I have to get those done. John specifically said, I refuse to acknowledge you and your inability to say words properly. So I will get some 40k lore cats. Hello. Done. So, but back to the Jaegers. I think the Jaegers wildly make League of Votann. Like, screw it. You know what? Maybe unpopular opinion. I think Jaegers made League of Votann go up a full tier rank.
Did you see? You probably don't because you're old and don't use social media. But there was a hullabaloo this morning or yesterday in various social media channels as a prominent German YouTube channel put out their own tier ranking, and people were shocked that the Germans had Votann in S tier as the second best army in the game right now.
I think they wreck. Now that you put Jaegers in them, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get some play because everybody hasn't had a chance to play their Votann with these Jaegers and these enough. You know what I mean? Because your lists are gonna change slightly because you can start to just abuse your scout. The list that terrifies me right now is Jaegers, probably 30 Jaegers to be honest, 10, 10, 10, and then tons of Sagittars, tons of bikes, YOLO swag it. You know what I mean? You have so many options. You can hard flank. You just have options. You can threaten so much and really make people shrink down, turtle up in their zone. It's a big, I have to sit up totally straight for this one. Let me get up to my full 6'9" height in a chair. I'm very tall. No, I don't want to attach anybody to a Jaeger. You don't even know if anybody can attach to a Jaeger. Who attaches the Jaegers?
Nobody.
I was saying nobody does, right? Yeah. And we've said that Lyle got put into timeout because he tried to say you could split Jaegers, which you can't. Yeah. What a terrible person. Style, how do you feel about yourself? Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed?
Our specific YouTube channel has told me repeatedly that I suck and should probably kill myself. So,
Whoa.
I think we're still in
say
that
that.
area.
We're about to get fucking demonetized.
I should probably unalive.
Oh
myself.
boy.
God,
You can't say that
I
either.
literally can't take you anywhere.
Wait, I
The
thought
worst.
unalive was the
You
Instagram safe
would you
version.
Just stop talking, please.
I thought, whoa! I thought that was the word that they used to get around the algorithms.
You know
can
what?
say sewer
This is what we're doing right here. We're putting this picture that Lyle sent me right underneath Kyle. You guys are so cute.
Thank you.
It's a
That was
beautiful,
before I had hand tattoos.
beautiful pic. And this is Papa D trying to message me while
He's probably on an airplane right now.
We are wildly off course right now. Holy shit. Brian, help us. Rein us in.
I would like to rein you guys in, but I was off in left field for a second there.
Talking about Jaegers, and then Lyle said some crazy shit.
That's why I went off to left field. My brain left my body and went, don't speak.
All right, let's talk about how CSM, like looking at this, right? Where's CSM? It's pathbound. Who called that?
you did. I have to give you props on that,
Yeah,
100%.
Carmona called that too.
And and also
the fact
Papa
that
D.
Suns didn't really change their win percentage now for the second week in a row with what everyone considered to be massive nerfs for them.
They're still
Says a
so
lot
damaging,
about what
man.
that is next
It's
to-
still a big deal. It also, by the way, who's calling? That would be Daniel from Sweden calling me, and it's very late where he is, so I'm pretty sure if I answer that call and let him talk while we were streaming, that he would say lots of drunken insanity things that would be half Swedish, half English. So it's all good. But man, I don't know. I think that Votann's gonna crush. Also, another thing that hasn't faded, Necrons. You know what Necrons have been doing since everybody said they're dead? Continuing to win at the exact same win percentage.
Yep.
I do like that. Look at how many people, people are bringing all of the detachments now. It's pretty crazy.
But what's getting played more in Necrons currently? Is it Hypercrypt over Canoptic, or are they kind of similar?
Hypercrypt is higher than Canoptic. Awaken Dynasty is starting to creep up.
Yep.
And Canoptic is kind of just fallen off a lot.
Where's the Obeisance Phalanx one? Does that get played?
It is an ATC, I'll say that.
Yeah. I think everybody's trying to find a niche on that one, though.
Yeah.
You know, Canoptic Court has largely been dropped, but the thing is I think that people are going to circle around to them because they have less play than Hypercrypt for sure, but they're so safe, especially when you're talking about team tournaments and stuff like that. It's a very safe list because it scores. It has so much ability to score. I think that you take it to 12 Wraiths now. So you take 12 Wraiths, you take, and then just kind of fill out 12 Wraiths, 3 Doomstalkers, infiltrate 1, take 3 Tomb Blades, and then just fill the rest with trash and or some units to punch. It's just got, if you take Necrons, you can literally take semi the same list in every detachment except for Hypercrypt, and you'll be pretty happy with it. You're just kind of copying the homework and changing the name.
So counterpoint, which is better? Well, maybe not a counterpoint, a question and a counterpoint at the same time. Which is better in your eyes, standing still and scoring, or having the ability to be anywhere at any point in scoring?
I mean, you know what I like to do. I mean, having the ability to be anywhere is amazing. However, if I, Brad Chester, broken old man, can stay still and score the entire game, I'm staying still and scoring the entire game.
I feel like one of them. Oh, sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, I think right now the game is whatever style you want to play, you can find the army to play that style. Like if you want to play the Brad, stay still and score. That army is out there and available. You want to play the hyper aggressive, in your face, kill stuff and score, that's there too. You want to play jank, move around the board, pick off little units, it's there. I think the meta's in one of the most interesting spots we've been in a long time, to where I don't think you can just look at lists and go, oh yeah, that's a bad list. It's going to be, you got to look at the player, you got to look at what the list does, you have to look at the design of it and what its capabilities are and what it's planning to do for scoring. And I think that makes the game more interesting.
Agreed on that, 100%. Let me go to the wall real quick. KR, you go, so Brad, you still think the Assassin's Callus dead? I have one on my list, and I never started to hunt down my opponent's list, so it's Assassin, not Assassin Wars. I don't think the Callus is dead. I think the Callidus's role is significantly different, and you can play it significantly different. Because what you can do is you can try to set up big turns with the Callidus and basically push your Callidus in. For instance, in melee armies, the Callidus has a very big role if you use it correctly. I don't think defensively it's going to do anything but defend the middle, because if you're that close again, your opponent's just going to pop over and punk the Callidus. When you push up, though, those are big turns. If you're playing like BA, for instance, you drop double Death Company and some Assault Intercessors and whatnot, and then you push that Callidus up and push that to that 12-inch bubble so that they can't fight on death and interrupt. That's a huge turn, and that's something that the Callidus does really, really well. I don't think that you're going to get multiple turns of just sitting there with your Callidus. I think it's a more of an offensive tool, and or it does the same shit it did before. Just bounce it around and score 1,000,000 points. Callidus is still fantastic. It's just the fact that its role changed how you use it. You know what I mean? It's, if you're looking to use that as a very offensive minded tool, I think it's fantastic. You know what I mean? It's just, if you get it that close, you're getting a turn of it. I'd like to really clear people out. Like I said, a BA, I'm going to sneak him in. I'm just going to put an orc hat on him and just throw him in. But BA, Wolf Jail, anybody that's trying to get really aggressive, it's nice because you can shut down those fight on death moments. But I think it isn't just I'm going to sit here and hope that my opponent doesn't have a measurement tool to roll. I don't know why I called it measurement tool as opposed to a tape measure. I just got here from planet fucking Xylon, just learning English and everything else, guys. So, but I don't think it's a super big defensive tool. I think it's a very big offensive tool, and I think it can crush offensively. So yes, I'm bringing the fire.
So can we, using the 12-inch like Vect thing, can we talk about Kairos now?
Yeah, 100%.
Why-
Kairos,
why are
Kairos
people-
actually has some defensive mojo, but Kairos is like a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean it way more points than the Callidus, but I think we're overvaluing the auras for the vecting, right? Like, what is the exact timing on things showing up in the bubble, costing more things?
It's when you use the strat. That's my only issue.
Right.
That's why I want you to. That's why I think it's going to get the most value offensively. Because if you push the assassin up and you push your units up, and I just jump over some stuff and I punch the assassin or shoot him or whatever him in the face, that's still a 4 wound dude. You know what I mean? He just goes away. I think that doing it offensively can shut games down. You know what I mean? You can shut a complete defense down, and that has huge value. I just don't know if it has great defensive value. You're not going to get multiple turns of just sitting a Callidus with a 12-inch aura unless you're burying your opponent. And at that point in time, who gives a shit if their strats cost 1 more? You're crushing them.
I think the strats costing 1 more aura is either A, not big enough, or B, is going to be inconsequential until certain things that are durable would have that ability enter the game.
Dude, this
Like
picture.
Kairos.
Yeah. I think
No,
Kairos is
I think it's
ones that-
overvalued and crappy. I don't understand. Like, the indirect is bad. It got worse. His aura is meh, and you have to position him in a spot where you're going to have a huge board impact, and he can just get slapped. Like, you can't hide him in the corner like you can a Callidus and affect a huge range. He's just standing still somewhere, getting punched.
Yeah, again, I don't think it's unusable. I don't think it's as valuable as people think it is.
Can we talk about how cute you guys are in this picture?
No, get it out.
Ah,
See,
jeez.
Brad, we got to get that same picture, except I got to be in the far back of everybody, and you got to be in the very front. I'm saying.
You should put the other one up too, Brad.
Why is there more?
No, this is the good one. This one makes me happy. So, Custodes are still winning. Everybody said they were completely dead with the mojo that they got. They're looking pretty decent, dudes. I mean, we're bringing them. A lot of teams are bringing them. I think they wreck.
Yeah, a lot of teams are bringing like almost our exact list. Like they're all within like 200 points of each other.
It's not that hard to figure out the good list.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
No, I'm
bring-
not claiming. I'm not trying to claim credit for it. I'm just saying like we all ended up on the same thing. Like it's not.
Yeah, I love Sean, but I don't think Sean was like in the Mind Palace, like cooking up things, being like, yes, Venetai.
Oh,
my
no, God
Lord."
damn it. Uh-oh. Thomas Ogden with a $4.99 super chat. I'm going to read the whole thing here because you know how I Ron Burgundy everything up. Okay, it's official. This guy reviewing us offended me. Now I got to try. Jamis Togden's showing up. Is coming to ATC. Oh, yeah. Go Blue. Screw OSU. That's hurtful. Obviously, I mean Ohio State. I was thinking of an Oklahoma State University, damn it. With the balance updates, 100% care. I thought they were great. I think the Custodes have just a renewed lease on life. Custodes are one of those armies that I really feel is always in and out of being really good based on very few things. Like when they nerf them or buff them, it's like they either get too good or too bad. I think they did a really good job this time. We give GW shit a lot, but I think the latest updates they did to Custodes were one of my favorite buffs for an army because it buffed them basically enough to be very competitive, but they don't feel ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I have to give them props on that. They did very, very well.
I think that Custodes got enough love that they're going to 4-1 a lot. They're going to sneak out a win here and there. But I think that for the most part, they're just a better, like, upper B tier army now.
I agree, but they're better. How about that? Well, I'm really looking at it from a team aspect right now because I can put them into where I want them. You know what I mean? So yes, in singles, I agree 100%. They're gonna have a hard time, everybody. And KR, yes, it's still a boring codex. It is hard to win a tournament with them, but I think they're going to be very good. I love this picture. They're going to be really good at the teams. So I think that's a big thing. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to, it's really difficult all the time. I think you're never going to see perfect mix when you talk about the elite armies. If you just don't have that many models, it's difficult to balance them because they have to be good enough where the player feels they have a chance to win the game versus if you make them too tough and your opponent feels like they can't do shit to that army. So yes and yes. Takeaways for the weekend. We've got a lot of armies just still doing very well. And then we've got, I mean, Deathwatch doesn't count one person, but my orcs.
I bet we know who that one person was.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
I just assume it's Jaguar. He's just driving around the world playing.
Just playing no matter
Deathwatch.
what. He's just telling you about his shitty Deathwatch.
Yeah.
Like, Jaguar, no one's going to take this. Yes, but you should play against it. I'm like, but no one will take it. Orcs circling. Let's go bottom top. We're going to go bottom up. Orcs apparently circling the drain, 36%. Are you guys' thoughts on this? Then I'll give you mine.
Low, much lower than they've been getting turnout. I think just a lot of good players abandoned them because there was better options.
Gents?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just why play orcs when they're not easy. The people as always, the orc book was busted with what you could do, so people were playing it because it was easy, and now now you have to try harder and it's more fair. So like, why bother? Go do something else that's easy.
I'll give you that. And I agree with you. Green Tide probably was hit a little bit too hard. I still think orcs are really, I'm playing them this weekend. I really like the orcs. I feel that they still have a lot of play. I think that they are definitely not an autopilot army anymore, though. You have to do a lot of shenanigans. But I was doing that before, so that's one of the things I like about it. I don't think you're going to be happy if you just try to line up orcs and just line them up, though. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Chaos Knights just had a blip on the radar. We're not going to talk about them. I do want to talk about CSM because Pact-Bound doing really well, and almost everyone else is doing not great. What are your thoughts on that, Chaos players?
It's a lot of work to kill that many bodies.
And 3 of the detachments are basically not real. And then the ones that are real, one of them got harder to play. The other one requires a very specific play style. And then Pact-Bound is just old index.
I do love the fact that you just said 3 of them are not real.
And there's one guy played one game with Deceptors, lost, and went home. Like, that's what happened according to the data.
I love exactly your takeaway from that. I was like, this is bull, just left his army at the store, took off, was just like, I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, I made a mistake. I got to go home. Should have been playing Pact-Bound. That's what happened in his weekend. I'm sorry that happened to him, but I mean, it's still pretty early, right? Like it kind of feels like the nerfs were severe and heavily targeted, but it's still really early in Brian Nexus to understand what's going to have an impact, and especially on a low weekend, like you're just going to see some mid-table bullies bullying like they should. I think there's a lot of people switched to play Raiders, and then it got hit, and then they said, well, I'm just going to go back to whatever else.
Go to my next. Black Templars. Black Templars were the wildly most consistent army for just forever, it seemed like. And after the last data slate, they've been putting up not great numbers on that. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's an anomaly.
Think so? I mean, I think that I'd like to see more Righteous Crusader. I still think that's a really good army.
I think it's just an anomaly. As people adapt and adjust, it'll change.
I have
Right
no
now,
idea.
with being headed towards what I'm going to call the team season for a little bit, there's not been a lot of focus on singles lists for the last couple of weeks. Once we round the corner into LSO, Salt City, and some other stuff going on, that'll change because people are going to want to get ready for everything. And you're going to see that meta shift up and down wildly.
I don't believe in that. Also, why does IG... We talked about this before, but man, it's so weird. IG in the States has such a lower win rate than in Europe and Australia. It's crazy.
Different terrain layouts.
You just think it's fully terrain layout? I agree with you, really, but I just... What do you guys... Is there any...
Play, I want to say it's somewhere near like 80 to 90% GW terrain layouts. And as a community, a lot of people are like, oh, 5's a really bad setup, don't use 5. And the reason 5's really bad setup is because there's 3 lanes of fire that are really nasty. That if you park, 2 to 3 Rogel Dorns in those firing lanes, it's going to be rough for the player against him. In the UK, Australia, and Europe, where they're using WTC and UKTC setups and such, it changes the game. So I think a huge chunk and a huge part of the reason is terrain layouts. It makes a very difference. And Guard is one of those armies that falls underneath the guise of terrain layouts kind of dictate their build a little bit.
I'll give you on that. Tal's been seeing a little bit of a Cayenne resurgence. That's what we're bringing this weekend also. I'm a big fan of Cayenne.
You know what else is seeing? Tiger Sharks.
Tiger Shark. So we'll talk about the Tiger Shark meta in a moment here.
We don't have to.
Oh, we have to. You know who's been staying strong? Death Guard. Death Guard just keeps winning at about 50%. I love this army.
But why?
They're a solid army. If you know how to play them,
Yeah.
they do well.
They fight first.
I really like armies that aren't... They're just where they should be, I feel like. You know what I mean? It's a good army. It has some good matchups. It has some bad matchups. It's doing pretty well all the time. And it's not ever going to do super bad. It's not going to just destroy. You don't feel like you're like, I can't do anything about Death Guard. But you also don't feel when you're playing Death Guard that there's nothing you can do when you're playing. I think that's an army in a pretty decent spot. Tell me I'm wrong, Death Guard players. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent army. It's definitely a nice army for teams.
It's interesting. Go ahead.
The thing I want to point out on the meta watch, moving on from Death Guard, sorry.
No, we got to go back. Hold on. My thing's about Death Guard.
Okay, go ahead. Go back. Back to you.
I think it's interesting that when you look at Death Guard for a team's environment, it's poaching 2 other books, right? Like for the Death Guard army to work, it's allying in the demons for the Nurglings, which the -2 to hit is still very important for the way that army plays. And then a lot of people are allying in knights as well. So in teams, it feels both like, yeah, it's a really good army. It's a good defending list, but it also is 3 whole codexes in one, which a lot of people are unwilling to do. Like they're not going to take that.
The thing that surprised me about the weekend's meta was you have a new book in Genestealer that had 3 players.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 8 of them ever.
Yeah, there's 3 players for Genestealer called. They all tried different detachments, which is kind of funny. But there were 3 players. That tells me that there's a problem with the book that's systemically going to be there for a while.
Problem is, it's not wildly busted like it normally is.
It's actually very underpowered. It reminds me of the AdMech book where they nerfed some stuff and then made it just tough to play. And the points didn't help it either.
Replace Fitz 9 in around. I love that. Rubrics and Raiders use up the 1,000 Sun slot. I think it does actually. Use it with Smith. Yeah. So you'd be using so many slots. Yeah, I think that GSC, I agree on that, Brian. I do think that GSC needs a revision. You just don't, they're not getting played at all. You know what I mean? That's when you know something's just not powerful enough or not juicy enough, to be honest with you. It's not super exciting and it's not powerful enough. Like no, there's a decent amount of GSC players that are super excited typically for GSC, and they're just not at all.
Nope.
I mean, Pedro loves his GSC. He's playing tournaments for the, ATC, for instance. You know what I mean? He just wants them to work, and they don't. So, with that being said, I made it fully 30 minutes semi-focused on at least one direction. I shot out a little bit, guys. I can't be contained. I'm everywhere.
I feel like you should just read that song that was in that list earlier. That's probably how you're feeling right now.
Well, I mean, luckily I know that I can take the weekend easy off because I'm going to get out paired and crushed according to the video, so I'm good.
You suck. You're
Huh?
terrible.
Hey, all, thank you so much. Like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Leave a comment, a nice comment, to help the algorithm out. You let us get seen more often. I appreciate it. And
The one thing I can say is there only one list review video right now out there
That we've seen.
that we've seen.
that you've seen.
We're doing one
there's
right now.
one guy who's like, good players, but what do they think of with lists? And you're going to take that and ride that anger right to the championship, right?
It was good. These guys are good players, but they're just gonna get out paired because all their lists have so many weaknesses.
Except for mine. Mine was a Warlord list.
Mine is apparently unplayable trash.
I mean, I keep telling you that, but I tell you that it's just you.
Yeah, well,
Uh-oh. Corey Schultz coming in. DOG going 2 and 3. Scrubs.
yeah, Moo Crew. That's probably the Moo Crew's record.
Oh, you're talking
Well,
shit.
Corey's on. Hold on, I was just looking at it. He's on Midwest Monstars.
He doesn't even.
So he's throwing down the challenge hammer.
He
at
has
the
no
Monstars.
monoliths. You know what? Screw this. You know what we're
He
going
is
to?
playing 2 of your favorite models, though, Brad. He has 2 airplanes in his list.
Oh, I know. They're actually a problem for me. You know what? Screw this. We're going to that. We're going to them right now. We're actually going specifically to Corey's list. We're going to break it down. Hold on one moment. I'm going to get this picture out of here.
I was just putting it into our master matrix. I can almost tell you what it is. It's 2 airplanes.
Hold on.
3
I gotta
doomsday
get
arcs,
Kyle.
and a bunch of nonsense with guns.
Kyle's got to snuggle up to me. This is what we're doing here. Look at that. Kyle and I are gonna.
Wow.
Kyle and I are snuggle buddies now.
You should do the hearts.
It's too close.
You should do your hand hearts.
Is this the right way? I gotta look.
Look.
No, that's the wrong way.
Are you okay?
No.
Do. Bam. Let's look at Corey Schultz's list. 1, no monoliths. Doom is upon you.
Or no, there are 3 Tesseract vaults at this tournament, and he's not playing any of them.
I mean, he is playing the Silent King. I give you mad props, brother. Silent King's kind of a boss. So we're playing some Hypercrypt, Imhotech, the Storm Lord, the Silent King, Death Marks. I love Death Marks. They're so good. Double Doom Scythe, double Doomsday Arc. Is that triple Doomsday Arc? My bad. Double Flayed one because he's a G and having 4 deployers is a legit thing. 3 solo Locust Destroyers because sometimes you got to score a secondary. And 3 solo Locust Heavy Destroyers with Gauss Destructors, which makes me happy because, man, I hate that anti-infantry gun because it shoots my orcs to pieces. So... Are orcs good enough to be put down? I hope so, because that's my plan, is to put them down pretty early. So if I'm not allowed to be put down first, it'll really mess with me. That's probably why I'm going to lose pairings, because I tell people what I'm going to do, and apparently my orcs aren't able to win any games. Challenge accepted. Killing field is up. I'm just letting you know, if you attack, if you defend, I will not attack with my list because I don't feel like being killed by stupid planes. You know what my orc answer to planes is? Look, guys, a plane. And then I just keep going this way.
Looking at this list, I'll put this down as a can't play this for me. Actually, put everything down as can't play.
Kyle's not going anymore. Kyle's staying home. He's been psychologically shaken by the
Guys,
the review earlier.
what do we want to see in lists? I want to review a couple decent lists. I love seeing this. I'd love to anybody that's playing in the tournament.
Okay, wait.
We want to
I'll
see
tell
your
you
list?
exactly what list I want you to look at right now. Go to Certified Wrinkle Free,
Certified Wrinkle Free.
and look at Matt Mann's list.
Certified Rico free. It is more crowns.
Yes, but you're gonna want to look at it.
Okay, it is the Phalanx. Keep your eye out, God. I love that he's got in your command phase, like who is telling everything that happens. The Silent King, a unit of immortals. 2 reanimators, 2 spiders. Is this triple Tesseract Vault? This guy's a G. I don't care how he does. This list is now the best list in ATC. It's just, can you fit 3 Tesseract Vaults in like board corner deployment?
Who knows? Not. I guess if you just always pick the table and make sure you pick the one that has 0 terrain on it.
Corey, I need the team. What is Walter on? Langendorf.
Walter's on Necrons. He's on that.
He's on 4++.
Dynasty that I was looking at.
What
earlier.
team?
4++.
4++.
There you go. 4++.
Or does he look at 3 Necrons?
Is it the numbers?
Yeah, he's the very first team at the top.
Jeez, we're just doing all Necron lists.
Yeah. It's now a Necron show.
So he's playing Awoken Dynasty. So we've got Xeris, the Stormlord, Triple Locust Lord, Triple Plasmaster. Holy shit, it's just characters.
Yeah,
Triple Royal
I was
Warden,
playing this list like a week ago. I showed it to you.
Triple Scorp Lord, 1, 2, 3, 4 Immortals, an Animator, 2 units of Destroyers, 3 units of Destroyers, and 3 units, min units of Scorpec Destroyers. What is even happening here? I'm going to lose badly to this because I don't understand what it's supposed to even do.
It's just MSU Necrons. Play the mission.
Yeah.
Do good stuff.
You can tag the whole
I
army
love it.
pretty quickly.
Pate Celestine, assassinating isn't real. It can't hurt you. Well, holy shit. Oh, man. There's just so many characters. There's all of the characters. Can you even bring...
I think he's added more, but the list I had gotten off of one of his events and I was playing around with had 11 characters in it.
This
That's
is so
insane.
many. I mean, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 characters. 11 characters. These are rookie numbers, man. You got to pump those up.
Did you count that correctly? It looks like it's more than that. It's crazy.
Well, then, what else do we want to see? This is wild.
That's super fun.
I mean,
Oh my god. Hold on. I got a new list for you to look at.
Hit me.
It's on Moo Crew.
Mutane Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
It's Zach Day's list.
Oh,
I feel
dude,
like-
no. We need to talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I just talked to Brandon about this. So
I
Brandon,
feel like this list was made to say "fuck you, Brandon. I love bikes."
no, Brandon made this list. This is Brandon's team.
Okay.
So Brandon makes
No, I
this
know it's
list.
Brandon's team.
Brandon
Yeah,
made
yeah.
this list for Zach, and he says, he's like looking at it, and they go, I don't want to bring this. He originally wanted to bring the Pew Pew Ironstorm. Ironstorm kind of died. And then Brandon went, okay, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. And specifically went, Dark Angels, Company of Hunters, which is the bike, zoom, zoom guys. We got Azrael, who goes with a unit of Hellblasters. Double Chaplain on bike. Lieutenant, sneaky Lieutenant. Ravenwing Command Squad, Samuel L. Trip Outriders. Oh, sorry. Quad Outriders, my bad, because these are all battle line now.
Yeah.
And then you've got three.
Wait a second. Brandon made this list as much as he hates Outriders.
Doesn't
Exactly.
matter. He's got all of this he owns, and it's on his shelf. He's providing all of this to Zach. So he's got triple Raven Ring, and the Raven Wing are getting dev wounds from the Chaplain. And then Samuel, of course, can get explosions and stuff on his own. But the Black Knights go with the Chappies, and they actually get dev. The Chap just gives them dev wounds on their shots. So these crazy Black Knight squads can actually mortal the shit out of people. It is all of the pew pew. It's also fast as shit, to be perfectly honest with you. And he's got trip scouts, so you can't do shenanigans right away. And of course, all of it's going to be -1 to hit because of the Dark Shroud. So, It's good times. It is all of the good time. I love that, Anna. This list has more characters than I have drops. Oh man, it's a good time on that. We've got some big beatings, by the way. And here, I'm going to give you a list that you'll like. I'm going to give you Jack's list. He's playing for somebody.
I'll tell you this. He's not playing the list he wants to play because he doesn't have all the models.
Who's he playing for? I
He's
looked
playing
at
for
his list.
Certified Wrinkle Free.
Certified Wrinkle Free? I was
Yeah.
going to say, I looked at his list earlier. I just don't remember what
His
it was.
list is the list I told you about. He wants to run 30 Vanguard vets, and he just doesn't have them.
Uh-oh. Mass Bro, back in the 499 Super Chat. Only win rate we're talking about is 100% with a natty chip. Go Blue. Hashtag Go Blue. Love it. Jack's going for big beatings on this. He brought Lamardes, Sanguinary Priest of Jump Pack, double Sanguinary Priest of Jump Pack, who both go into 10-man Vanguard vet units. I brought this up just for you, Lau. 3 units of Assault Intercessors with Jump Packs, 2 Ball Predators.
I told you about this list. You just
Death-
were like, man.
Death Company with Marines with Jump Packs with Lamardes, and then 2 solo 5-mans that run with no character support, unit infiltrators, and then he's running the Callidus, and this is where you run the Callidus is very aggressive, you know what I mean, to get your value out of that Callidus.
The Vanguard veteran list, like, if you take, and I know Jack has talked about this list that he wants to be playing, and he has, unless he's done testing and changed it, the original list he was talking about is he wanted 30 Vanguard vets because they're just durable enough that they fuck up everyone else's plans.
I know,
Like, they're not infinitely
durable. The only problem is that you play against anybody with armor or contempt ability, and they can just bounce, you know what I mean? So you're looking
Yeah,
to
they go to AP1 at that point instead of AP2, but
Well, that's why you're
the
using
Sanguinary
Callidus
Priest with them
to
does
start with.
raise their armor or their AP by 1 inherently.
right.
So
I'm just saying, like, you can bounce off 2-ups, yeah. So it's a big deal. They're durable, you know what I mean? You're living a 4 or 5-up life, you know what I mean? So it is what it is on that. I mean, it's got big beatings, don't get me wrong.
there are tables that no one's going to be able to beat Jack on.
If
he just gets good trade,
there's some big beatings. You know what? Hold on. I want to show you Jared's list because he went like all gas, no brakes. He's on
Battle for Salvation.
Battle for
Sorry about Jared
Salvation?
Friedman.
Yeah. I kind of love Jared's list. It's, well, mainly because I sent some stuff over to him, but he's got double chap with jump packs going with the big units. He's got Mephiston, Lamardes, and the Sanguinor. He's got Assault Intercessor Squad, which is going in an Impulsor with Mephiston, an Intercessor Squad that just hangs out and plays Euchre, Rhino that has a whole shit ton of Death Company in it, and then he's got 3 units of Assault Intercessors with jump packs, 2 5-man Death Company walking, 10-man Death Company with jump packs, and 2 5-man Death Company with jump packs, and 2 Scout Squads. This list is bringing all over. I will have to bring up a different tournament, Robert. So $5 super chat from Robert Baker. Look over my list, Brad. I will look over your list. I have to actually search the tournament though, because this is coming from the 8-man. So I have to go into the 5-man. But I will actually get to your list. I will go over it before we leave, but I have to go into a new tournament at BCP. Oh, you just go into the other tournament. That is true. You're running the same list that you submitted for the Anvil of Faith, Robert? Then I'll get into that too. Screw you, Danny. Should Brad play GSC since they have models inspired off his height in the familiars? All of the goodness, some of the times. What else do we want to see, gents? We're going to do Robert's list here in a minute, but I just have to go to a different tournament when I pull it up. We've got tons of lists, brothers. Tell me what you want to see.
Trying to think of like the cool ones.
hold on, let me look at the ones I've looked at. That because I'm doing our. The reason I'm distracted right now is I'm doing our master matrix, so I'm kind of compiling information. Go look at. I'd have to figure out who it was. You'll really like.
You know, screw
It's
this.
the only Votann player I've seen. So
What's a hunter in Stan's list? What's their team name?
Southern Hostilities.
Okay, guys, we're looking at this. KR, you're not gonna want to see this, but this is the biggiest, dickiest It's Max. What's the one from the goddamn the Monty Python guys?
Biggest Dickus.
Biggest Dickus. Yeah, this is the biggest Dickus. A unit, Alea, a unit of Custodian Guard, 3 Achilles, 3 Telemons, a Contemptor, and Canis Rex. I love everything about this. This isn't 3 vaults, but this is close, where he's just like, what? Blam! Biggest
I got a list
Dickus,
for you,
yes.
Brad. Go look at on Georgia Warlords featuring the Tennessee Valley Authority Intramural Shuffleboard Club.
That can't possibly be what the name of their team is.
That is the name of their team. That's 2 teams who were there last year who merged for 8-man.
I
And then
love
look at
everything
Jordan-
about that.
Jordan Stuckenschneider's list.
You mean Johnny featuring the Georgia Warlords Tennessee Valley Intramural Shuffleboard Club? Leagues of Votann. He has Caw, Uthar the Destin. I just like saying that. Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love this list already. It's got 6 Sagittars.
Keep going.
3 units of Zerks. 3 units of Pioneers. And a unit of Jaegers.
3 max units of Pioneers.
Yes. I love this. I love this list so much. It's gonna tuck me into bed at night. I love it so much. Biggest Dickus had a wife, you know. Freedom's hand. I have not looked up your list yet. I'm going to. Actually, I have to literally go to a different tournament on this. I have to get the thing. Tell you the truth, can I go through? Give me a moment. What do we want to see? We're bringing Roberts up last. You're closing the show up, Robert.
Oh my God, there's 11 World Eaters players.
What do you want to see? Which World Leader player you want to see, gents?
Take
Take your time.
like good playing?
Just pick a goddamn player already. You know what? We'll look at a Hunter's list. Screw it.
Yeah, it looks like a Hunter's list.
And he is part of Southern Hostilities. We've got Mr. Hunter Nichols playing Angron. What? Man, that's tech. Invocatus, Jackals, 8-bound, 6-man unit 8-bound, so 3/3/6. And then we've got a 6-man unit Exalted, 3-man unit Exalted, 3-man unit Exalted, and Trip Spawn. I mean, this is boss mode. This is World Leaders, you know what I mean?
Run at you.
All of the things, some of the stuff.
Literally just max run at you. That's the list.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's bringing the beats. You know what I mean? It's another list that basically says, hey, I'm going to scout. How many things are you going to scout? All of them. Yeah, this is a big deal on this. Give me a second and I will go into the 5-man. We're going to sit by the fire for a minute. You guys can make small talk amongst yourselves while I find the NATC 5-man. Is that what we're supposed to be looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other event, yeah.
Yeah.
Lyle tried to get someone to duel me in the Alfredo challenge this year, and we didn't have any takers.
You did say you were gonna kill me last year. You did
did.
eat a lot.
I think what he said was that if you ate the amount of food he was going to eat, you would die.
He
No,
said
if you drank the
I had to
equivalent-
drink wine in the
Oh,
equivalent
yeah,
of the
yeah.
amount that he was eating. And I have to admit, he was putting away some serious Alfredo much faster than even I could drink the wine. So it was pretty impressive.
Got deadly. You know, the only person I think that could go toe to toe with me, and I have to look up to him because he's 19 feet tall, is the playmaker, Big Mike.
All right, we're going back to the wall. Robert also has a full story for his army. Blazam! It's actually kind of nifty. He has his sisters are descendants of Dark Eldar. It's pretty sweet for those of lore people. But we've got the Triumph because, well, that bitch is busted. Junith, a Dominion squad, in an immolator. Palatine, a Novitiate squad, another immolator, double immolator. St. Celestine, a big old unit of Seraphim, Morven Val with a Paragon, a second Paragon, and double Cassies. This is going all gas, no brakes. We're like, hey, do you need some other units? I would rather have things that murdered people. Feel free to stay silent. I'll keep rocking.
Just reading it and
Hey,
looking at it.
it's okay for you to talk about murder, but not me. Not okay, Brad. Not okay.
Say again, sir?
I said, I'm looking at lists trying to find something interesting to talk about.
Boom. You mean like all... I think we found the keys to interesting lists. Trip vaults, doom signs, all dreadnoughts, and Canis Rex. I don't know if you're going to come up with better shit here, guys. So
I'm not. I haven't found anything that's jumping out, going, "Hey, that is like just awesome." Didn't think I'd ever see that.
anyone bringing a 5 medium knights for Chaos Knight chat? There's a lot of people bringing 3 big knights for knights. Here, I'll switch to a couple knight lists.
In the 8-man event, there's several people
Here.
bringing 3 bigs, 4 littles.
Here, I'll
And then
go.
the Chaos Knight side has more people bringing 2 bigs and like
Here,
6
I'm
or
gonna
7
I'm gonna rock
littles.
out Sniggs' list because it's fairly different too. So we got Mr. Snigowski's bringing Canis Rex. I think I meant to say Freedom's Hand. A Lancer, a Castellan, 2 Helverins, and 2 Warglaves. And he's looking to basically put the Castellan on the boards because he wants to ace out other big shit. And the Castellan will put the beats on other big shit. Volcano Cannon's a hell of a drug. It's a real thing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm actually
I got one.
hit me, but I like it. The thing is, I think you're going to see we're seeing way more people bring knights than we usually see, because especially in the 8-man, because in the 8-man we're using all 8 tables, and we're using what table 5 is bananas open, and we're playing effectively all either Crucible or Hammer and Anvil. Well, not Hammer and Anvil, but Tipping Point, but basically it's the same coming from this way, and there is just nowhere to hide on that board. So a lot of people took knights because of that. Canis
Right.
Rex, oh my god, Canis Rex, Eloise, you're gonna immediately get an Inquisitor at your doorstep. Canis Rex is definitely not a Chaos Knight. He is the loyalist of loyal knights.
He has the pimp hand of doom.
Yes, he does have the pimp hand of doom.
Go
Otherwise,
to Victrix Gaming and look up Joshua Freeman's Death Guard list.
Vitrix Gaming and Joshua Freeman.
Yep.
Boom. Let's see what happened in the Plague Company. Canis confirmed chaos, yes. Triple Putrefier, Triple Blight Spawn, Uncle Typhus giving you hugs. 3 units of 10 Plague Marines. I love this list so far. Holy shit, there's another one. 1, 2, 5 units of Plague Marines.
There you go.
We've got, is that in 5 Rhinos and 3 Bloat Drones? This list has now made my heart beat normal.
There's an 8-man list that I saw that is basically this, except it's all Plague Marines and Rhinos except for 3 Carnivores. That's the entire list. It's 3 Carnivores and all Plague Marines.
Look I would have you at that, but you already diluted the roster a little bit by putting those knights in. This is running Trip Bloat Drones, which are like my favorite model in the Chaos. 5 units of Plague Marines with 5 Rhinos. This is a 3rd edition list, and it makes me fantastically happy. And it's gonna wreck. This guy's going 6-0. We're only playing 5 games, but he's going 6-0 because he's gonna get
Put
1
this down low.
from my heart.
This is a list I can't play. Put it down.
This is fantastic. I love everything about this. Give me another list. I want to look over something. It's going to be hard to beat this. This makes me happy. This is like old school 40K, and it's like super cool. I'm not making fun. I love this list.
That's absolutely.
I mean,
Should we look at Mark Perry's list?
dude, what is Mark again? He's playing on
Southern Hostilities.
Southern Hostilities.
Yep.
Mark Perry brought this isn't the most Mark Perry list, but this is definitely up there in Mark Perry list. He's bringing Trip Commune, Trip Demon Prince, a Warp Smith, 2 Cultists, 3 Accursed Cultists, which get the Dark Communes, double Bikers, a Forge Fiend, and a Hell Brute. Every time Mark wins a game with these lists, he basically makes his opponent just walked away dazed and confused, walking to the bar going, I don't even know what just happened, man. Mark's
Yeah,
going
I
to do
don't
Mark
know
shit.
what this list is supposed to do.
It's got big units, got max units of Bikers, too. Mark's going to do Mark shit. Mark always plays well, you know what I mean? He's going to do Mark shit, and it's going to work out. He's also...
Brad.
Yeah.
I just found another Votann player playing 6 Sagittars, Jaegers, and Max Bikes.
Makes me so happy. I love his army enhancements. 0. And it's back to pack bound. I mean, this list got banged, man. The thing is Accursed Cultists with Dark Communes, it's not like they got bad. You know what I mean? They lost some stuff. Those things are still annoying as shit, and they hit the crap out of you.
So what does this list not want to see?
An open table with a lot of volume. But I can see Mark playing this into any of the heavier tables, and his opponent's going to have a real hard time digging all this shit out. Bike squads are fairly just annoying, and they're fast, so they can score shit. And he's got a decent amount of... he's got so much trash in this list. He's got 3 units of cultists, or sorry, 2 units of cultists, 3 units of accursed cultists. He's got a decent amount of stuff to score. He's got a couple of little pew-pew things. He's got Demon Princes basically laying in wait that he's going to countercharge with. It's legit. The Art of War and the Tundra Tactics guys are both got split up because all of the people on Team USA aren't playing this weekend. They are doing a team practice, and the league and the list submissions, I think, are the same weekend here. So they didn't want to show people what they were playing before list submission for WTC.
Yep.
So that is why none of those guys are playing on that. But we've got some cool lists. All right, what's the best? What is the just the best? What is the most fun list we looked at today?
Triple Tesseract Vault.
Triple Vault. You know what?
Yeah.
I have not seen anything that made my jaw drop more than Triple Tesseract.
Well, let's start a poll. What are the lists we're looking at? Let's go. First off, most awesome.
Let
list.
me ask. Here's what I want the poll to be, Brad.
Yeah.
Who has, if we're allowed to do it this way, who has bigger balls?
Nah,
Triple
that's
Tesseract Vault
too much.
or 7 Dreadnought Custodes?
Let's get. I'm gonna put it out. Ready? We're gonna say vaults, dreads, plus Canis. What else was super cool? You know what? I'm saying 50 Plague Marines and Rhinos.
Yeah.
Give me a 4th option, kids. I got the vaults. I got the dreads plus Canis.
6 Sagittarius lists. Is
Oh
Sag
yeah,
stars.
six Sag, 18 Pioneers.
There's a lot of lists. We didn't even look at like the coolest demon lists here. But there's a lot of lists that are just taking like max one thing. Just give me 6 of this, and we're doing it. I like that.
Right there.
I'm voting for the Plague Marines.
Throw down your votes. This is going to be the last thing we do tonight. While we're doing this, let's talk a little bit about the Salt City GT, Brian.
So the Salt City GT, 100 and up, we're going to be able to fit 130 players for 40K. We are getting very close to selling out. If you want to sign up today. It is going to be absolutely fun. The player pack is mostly live. I had a blue screen error when I was doing the missions, so those are a little goofed up at the moment, but I'll get those fixed hopefully tomorrow morning. And it's going to be a good time. Salt City is August 8th, let me get this 9th, 10th, and 11th. The 8th is the Brad Chester coaching class on that Thursday night. So it's going to be good fun in Syracuse, New York.
Good times, bad times. Also, go to the 40klorecast.com. You can see this on Spotify. We're actually moving to YouTube also, which is making me excited for that too. And I got merch coming. I got stuff, man. I am making things happen. When I say I'm making things happen, I yell at John until he makes them happen.
I wonder what that's like. I've never had that experience.
What?
We're going to need every DOG fan to hold their hands towards the sun on Thursday, to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Channel the spirit energy so we can
channel the spirit energy.
Here's what we need. Brad, you remember that I Believe in Joe Hendry video I sent you? Or it's just the corny thing? We need I Believe in DOG. We just need people to be doing the theme song for us while we're playing this week.
We already lost. I'm now cooking Kyle again because I want the end of this video to be sitting by the fireside, enjoying murdering Kyle over a hot flame. And that's how I like to enjoy my weekends. The question has to be on Wednesday and Thursday, because I did promise Kyle Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would keep myself in check. Focused, legend, boom, in a box. But Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to run wild with the sweets. It's going to be exciting. Magic the Gathering commercial, new low. 50 Plague Marines and Rhinos is winning here.
It's a good list. So you said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're going to keep it somewhat contained so we can actually win this. But Thursday, you're going to get so drunk that you forget who you are.
Yes. Preferably Wednesday and Thursday.
Guess Brad's not going to be able to help anyone test on Thursday night.
I will. It'll just be a specific testing that will not be as productive as you hope.
Is there a hot tub at either of the places?
There are 2 hot tubs at our place.
Oh my God, he's gonna Matthew Perry himself.
I did go help Robert from Sweden and the tech Marine Dicky Richard Hughes at his house, and they were testing. And they decided to get me a little too drunk once. And I explained to Robert that he wasn't going to win his games because he had a tiny brain. And he was like, I don't think that was that effective of a coaching from you. So,
Tiny brain, no good. To do better.
Oh, it's going to be good times. I'm excited for this tournament. I'm very excited. I do want to give out my usual PSA on this. If you get a chance, everyone, to play in a team event, whether it's very, very new to the game, very new to tournaments, if you're an old hand, team tournaments give you an opportunity to hang out with your buddies. Losses, you know what I mean? You can lose a game. You can lose all your games, to be honest with you, and be the MVP of your team, as long as you're scoring points, because it's a combined score for everyone. It's so fantastic of a time, basically. I enjoy the team events. By far, they're my most favorite thing. Good time. So I'm excited for this, too. Oh man, votes are starting to catch up here. We'll see. I'm going to give it a couple seconds for votes on this one. So I love that you guys are still so bitter about the review that we got. I love everything about this. My team's getting motivated
through hatred.
Dude,
like Sith.
I mean, there's like 9 different. Well, I guess 8 because Brad's not doing it. But there's like 8 people, right? God damn! Go ahead.
Go.
So there's like 8 different people that are like Michael Jordaning themselves right now, saying they're taking this personally, and then Brad has no idea what's going on.
I think it's funny that the motivation of a bad review from one random guy is gonna spur you guys on. I'm actually finding it rather entertaining.
As a North Carolinian, I was taught by the great Steve Smith that if anyone says anything that you could twist in your mind to be an insult, you use that to put them in the dirt.
Looks like I tuned in the perfect time, the very end.
I stole pizza from Corey Gulch. I want that immortalized on the internet. And the stream. And the stream, please.
Done. Hold on. The poll, Vaults and Play Breeds went in. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. We're going to be putting up a bunch of basically shorts and clips. They'll be on the Death of Glory YouTube, and I will be putting up a decent amount of shorts on the Facebook page of our adventures at ATC. So thanks again for hanging out, and we'll rock and or roll. Gents, let's give a Queen's wave. Lyle, give a catchphrase.
Stay milky, my friends.